Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the
Latin voices.
Welcome everyone, and happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday. Today we're going to bring you the following topic. Oh yeah, it's true. Today is English, so there was no drums for the English one.
We enjoyed it anyways. Okay. So our topic today is flexible time versus limited time, the real difference.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Latin Voices. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by profession. I live here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm original from Cuba. I have my business online and I'm a mentor at the same time.
Hello everyone. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico, now residing in North Carolina with my family. I am a digital business owner and a mentor.
Yes, we also want to remind everyone that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we do have a live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start creating that plan B and that extra side of income alongside your current job, here are 3 ways that you can learn more about it. So you can reach out by putting in the comments more info, send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or you can register directly into our website with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to our free webinar, which we happen to have one tonight. So it's a good day for if you want to learn more about these online business opportunities. We have twice a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. Okay, so once you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain 2 links. So the first one is to register to the live webinar. So there you can pick either day or both. Second link is a link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to our live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now you're probably wondering, so what is it that we're going to find out on the webinar? On the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works, and also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So if you want to catch tonight's live webinar, here are the hosts and panelists for tonight.
Okay, so we have our live webinar tonight, and our host will be Shirley. She's a healthcare worker. We're also gonna have Marie, who is a nurse practitioner, Sylvia, who is a nurse, and Grace, who is a teacher.
We're also going to have Taurishi. She's a teacher. Sheila is accountant, and now she's a CEO. Patricia is a business entrepreneur, and Sheetal is a business entrepreneur. So all these people is going to be today, Tuesday, April 2, in a live webinar. Remember, we have live webinar every Tuesday and Thursday, always at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So the only thing that you have to do to get access to this complimentary section is register with your name and email to any of our websites or link, and we will send you your personal link to have access to this webinar, and you can learn how to earn online as well.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Jessie. So if you're catching tonight's live webinar, our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages. That's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And if you're catching the replay of tonight's live webinar, our replays have subtitles in several languages. So there you go. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just put in the comments more info, send us a private message, or register directly into our website. All right, so let's dive into our topic for today.
All right, our our topic on Latin Voices is flexibility time limited time. So we're going to talk about the real difference between these two.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So, hola y bienvenidos a otro episodio de Latin Voices. Yes, yes. Okay, Latin Voices.
Don't we love our lives?
Okay. So today we're talking about something that sounds similar, but it's actually very different. And that is, having time versus having flexible time. Because, many people say, I just need more time. But what if the real goal isn't more time? It's more control over your time. So let's break down the real difference. So for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Okay, so we have 3 points for you today. The first one is limited time is controlled by others. Flexible time is controlled by you. The second one is flexibility improves productivity and life satisfaction. And number 3, flexibility creates opportunities that limited time cannot.
Yes, so those are the points that we're going to be talking today. So let's dive into the first point.
Okay, so limited time is controlled by others and flexible time is controlled by you. For many people, time doesn't really feel like their own. And believe me, I was there for a long time. It's already spoken for, scheduled, decided in advance. That's what happens when your time is controlled by others, you already know your schedule. Decisions are made in advance of the things that you have to do. And when you wake up at a certain hour, you follow a structure that is already set. You plan your life around your availability, not your priorities. And for a long time, that was my reality too. After working 20 years in corporate, I was always feeling rushed. I was always feeling late. I was always tired, stressed, full of responsibilities and deadlines that I had to meet. And for a long time, that was, for over 20 years, that's what I had to do. My days were full. I was responsible. I showed up. I worked hard. And I did everything I was supposed to do. But deep inside, I felt like my time belonged to everything and everyone else except for me. And that's why, or that's what we call limited time, when someone else is already dictating everything that you have to do, the days that you get off, the days that you have to work, the time that you have to start, all of that. Not because you don't have time, but because you don't control it. Your schedule is fixed, your options are limited, and even when you want to do something different, you have to fit in it. But then I started to see other possibilities, not overnight, not perfectly, but gradually. That idea that maybe I could begin to create flexibility. And flexibility or a flexible time doesn't mean you stop working. It means you start deciding when you focus, deciding how your day flows, and deciding what truly deserves your energy. It's the difference between asking for permission and having the ability to choose. And that shift is powerful because studies like those from Gallup show that people with flexible schedules report significantly higher well-being, up to 43% more than those in rigid structures. And you may be thinking, well, why would that be? Well, because as humans, we don't just want to be productive. We want to feel in control of our lives. And for me, this wasn't about escaping work. It was about creating a life where I could be present for the moments that matter as a mother and as a wife. Where I didn't have to choose between responsibilities and the people I love, where my time started to reflect my priorities. And it began with small changes. It wasn't something overnight. It wasn't the perfect time when everything started changing. It was small decisions, small shifts in how I use my hours. But over time, those small shifts created something bigger: ownership of my time. So, that feeling that you have when you wake up at the time that you body wakes up, you don't have to be woken up by an alarm. You don't have to be in a rush packing lunches and, battling traffic to get to work. That's time ownership. So if you ever feel like your schedule is running your life, maybe the question isn't, do I have time? Maybe the question is, who is in control of the time right now? And is that working for me? Like, this is a powerful question. Who is in control of my time right now? And is that working for me? Because the real difference isn't just how many hours you have, it's whether those hours belong to you. So that's what I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. So Isabel just talked about limited time is controlled by others and flexible time is controlled by you. So most of us, usually when we work, our time is controlled by others, the company that we work for. But when you have your control of your time, you decide where you want to allocate your time. So you have that control. Isabel just added, freedom isn't about having more time, it's about having the power to decide how your time is used. So there you go. All right, so let's move on to point number 2.
Okay, so point number 2. Many people think flexibility mean working less, but actually, it often leads to better results. A Stanford University study found that people with flexible work environment were 30% more productive and report a high job satisfaction. Why is this? Because now they can work during their more when they are more most focused, hours, reduce stress from commuting or rigid schedule, and balance work between personal life more effectively. So flexible time allow you to align your work with your energy, not just the clock. And this is hard to understand if you always have work, your 9 to 5, if you always have give your time to someone else. Most people think that the productivity is about working, more hours, 10 hours, 12. I work that amount of time, I will be more productive. So, but the productivity is about, in other words, it's about control, over your time. How much can you do in 2 hours? Because they're different between limited time and flexible time. A lot of people get busy all day, but they still feel like they're going nowhere. So we have to wake up. We have to realizing about this. Limited time means your schedule controls you, like Isa say. And then when you get that flexibility, you get that flexible time. That just means that you have the ability to design your own schedule, and that's what make everything change. When your time is limited, every day it feel rushed. You wake up in the same schedule, that already someone decided you have to wake up at 4 in the morning to be at work at 7 or 6:30. Your energy goes into obligation instead of priorities. And over time, overdoing this, how long do we work? We work, so probably some people work since they're 14, 16, 17, and a lot of people work until 65. And there are people, even when they retire after 65, they can retire, they work until sometimes 68, 70. So all of that time, that pressure create that stress. You have fatigue, you got frustration. And it's not that people don't want you to be productive, is that their time is already consumed. You already consume since you wake up. When you have flexible time, you get the powerful, like everything happened just from it started from the inside. You can work during your most productive hours. That you can get things done between 10 and 11, because that's when you get to focus. You can organize your day around your energy. When you don't want to do something, and what are you going to do if you do, it's going to get bad, or you're not going to do it right. You do it when your energy decided to do it. You are not fixed by that schedule. You're actually making your own. And when you work aligned, your energy, your productivity naturally increase, and you're not forcing it. You're working with intention, and that is really important. One of the biggest benefit of the flexible time is the peace of mind, I would say. You can take care of personal responsibilities without feeling like everything is collapsing. Like feeling like everything is like, oh, I just have tomorrow is my end day. You can rest when you need it. You can focus when it matters the most. And that is what flexibility creates in your time. At the end of the day, I realized that success is not only about the income, it's not only about the money, it's about how you feel about your life. Do you have time for your health? Do you have time for your relationship? Do you have time for your personal growth? When you answer yourself those questions, then you say, oh, I have flexibility on my schedule, on my time. You're not just surviving, it's surviving on that schedule. You're actually living it. And that's what flexibility does. And the good thing about it is like flexibility is not just happen, is you build it with the intention. Oh, my English is bad today. Flexibility, you build it with intention. And one of the ways many people create this is this flexibility today is through an online business, it through social media. You're building an income stream that are not tied to one physical location or one fixed schedule. That's how that's how we move, from limited time to flexible time. So I encourage you, if you feel like your time is always limited and you want to do something more, you want to create more, your current schedule is not enough and it's not building that future take step by step, continuously and consistently. Start working toward your goals. Start creating that income online so you can have that flexible time. So productivity improves when your time aligns with your life, not when your life is forced in your schedule. So flexibility time doesn't just improve work, improves your whole life and everything around you. So that's what I have to say for now. And yeah, we have to all create that flexible time, and that's what we're doing this for.
Thank you, Jessie. So Jessie also talk about the flexibility improves productivity and life satisfaction. So when we have that flexibility, it allows to have work on the hours that we get more focused, and also it give us that satisfaction of being able to have a balance between work and personal life. So she also added. Oh, actually, we do have some comments here. We have a comment from Connie. She say, "Hi, ladies. Hi, Connie. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment." And she said she totally agree. And also we have a comment from Pat Keating. She said, "Keep up the good work." Thank you, Pat. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for watching. Okay, so
Thank you.
okay, there you go. Now we do have Jessie wants to add also control your time, improve your life, more flexibility, less stress, better life. There you go. All right, so let's move on to the next point. So the next point is flexibility creates opportunities that limited time cannot. For many years, my schedule was defined by production calendars, call times, and external demands. Even though I love the creative environment in the film industry, my time was structured around fixed commitments. So when your time is limited and rigid, your options shrink. So you may have the talent, you may have the ambition, you may have the vision, but if your schedule doesn't allow space, opportunity feels distant. So when I chose to build something digital and flexible, I wasn't just about changing income, it was about changing access. Access to more time with my parents, more time to care for my health, more time to continue learning, more time to travel without asking permission, more time to build something that aligned with my long term vision. Flexibility doesn't eliminate responsibility, it expands possibility. And according to the World Economic Forum, flexible and digital work models are among the fastest growing shifts in the global workforce. More people are seeking autonomy, balance, and adaptable structures. So, this isn't just a trend, it's a transformation. In our community, I see professionals, caregivers, immigrants, and parents discovering that flexibility creates breathing room. Breathing room to think, breathing room to grow, breathing room to make intentional decisions. And when your time is locked, your life feels reactive. But when your time is flexible, your life becomes strategic. So flexibility allows you to pivot when needed, explore new skills, say yes to aligned opportunities, and say no to misaligned demands. So it becomes less about escaping a structure and more about designing it. In life, autonomy over time is deeply connected to peace. You can work hard, you can be ambitious, and you can pursue growth. But when you also have flexibility, you gain sustainability. And sustainability creates that longevity. So here's the message for you guys. If you feel limited, ask yourself, is it a lack of ability or a lack of flexibility? Because flexibility isn't just a lifestyle upgrade, it's becoming a future necessity. So when you build flexibility, you don't just create income, you create options. And options are power. So that's the message for that point. So now let's find out what is our key takeaway for this topic.
Okay, so the question isn't just how much time do I have, it's how much control do I have over my time? Because that's where real freedom begins.
Yes, so that's our key takeaway for today. So we hope so that you guys learn something about what we shared today about flexible time and limited time. Because many times we are on that um, wheel, like the same routine that we don't stop to really reflect in our life and realize, is this the life that we want to have for the next 5 to 10 years, where we just work, go home, like no really life, for how long can you do that? Right now, like for me, for example, I would say, there was three setbacks in my industry. The first setback, I was young, so it didn't bother me. I just moved to something else, while my industry was picking up again. And then the second one was during the pandemic. I was blessed that I was able to work, but I would say 95% of people in my industry were not able to work. They had to pay mortgages, they have to feed, so they had debts. So that was really hard, for so many in my industry and for so many people around the world. And then 2023 came, another setback. So that was my ha moment to say, I'm getting older. So what happened? Like if this happened 2 years prior, two times prior, it will happen again. And then what? I'm gonna be older. It's gonna be harder. So you gotta do something. So you gotta take time for you to reflect. What is it that you want in life? What is priority for you? And take action, because you can have a wishful thinking, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. I had that wishful thinking 5 years prior, but I didn't take action. So 2023 is the when I took action. So hopefully, you get inspired with what we shared today, and you take action. And don't forget, we do have a free live webinar tonight. So there you go. So you can learn more about it. It's free. You got nothing to lose. So we have twice a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to learn more about this online business opportunity where you can start creating that plan B and that extra side of income alongside your current job, here are 3 ways that you can get in touch with us. Put in the comments more info, send us a private message, or register directly into our website. All right, so let's find out what is our topic for next Thursday.
All right, so next Thursday on Latin Voices, we're going to be talking about build for parents, caregivers, and full-time workers. We're going to tell you why you can do this business. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yes, that's right. So we're going to talk about how people with busy schedules are finding ways to build something meaningful without sacrificing what matters most. So that's what we're going to be talking next Thursday. So don't miss it. It's going to be a good topic. And saying that, we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to say thank you to all the comments that we received today. And also to the like emojis or the love emojis from Perlita Maxino de Guzman, Sylvia Arnold Morton, and also from a like from Pat Keating and Connie B. Commodore. So thank you so much for all your
Thank
likes
you.
and emojis. Saying that, we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and a happy and blessed week ahead for everyone. So thank you again for being, well, weekend again. I guess weekend, yeah. Weekend ahead because we're almost at the end of the week. So saying that, we hope to see you again next Thursday for another episode of the
Latin Voices.
Yes.
Bye. Bless Thursday.